Like, what is it that Shreve Cooper hasn't done that I can say he should do? To say he's done it all.
He won that championship. That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Guy.
So why is it that when I watch the Wild and Odom, do I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch the Wild play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again.
It's the Love of the Game podcast. We in this thing. We in the building. We back. We here to restore the vibe. We here to bring back that feeling. Here to bring the heat to the city. We here to do what we do. Every single week, we tell y'all the same thing. There are no suckers in our circle, period. We're the only podcast that can do this. There's so much pressure. My shoulders are heavy. I'm tired. We're carrying this thing. We have another great coach lined up. Behold the green and gold. We got Norfolk State head coach in the building, Robert Jones. Coach Jones, what's good?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, normally I introduce these guys first, but I figure I would let you go first today, Coach.
Appreciate you for giving me that introduction. You know what I'm saying?
Man, hold on. So that's why you wore a green collar shirt today, Mondre?
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show love, man. Hey, look.
I thought that was for the AKAs or something like that.
Oh, no. I thought it was for Krispy Kreme.
No, I was a very young man walking around on campus on a tour in 1998 on Norfolk State's campus. I fell in love 5 times, got married about 6 times, but never actually took a class. It is my one thing that I say I regret in life is not attending Norfolk State because the visit was incredible. But Huff's in the building. 805 Pride, what's good?
What's good, man? Glad to have Coach Jones on the show.
No doubt. Lock's way the only way. What's good, Lock?
Yo, what's good? What's good?
B Will, still getting checks?
What kind of checks? Nike check? Hey,
them checks didn't clear last weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey.
Them checks didn't clear last weekend, Bryce.
Listen, I was prepared for that. I was prepared for that comment. So, like any other time, we've always had a weekend where we had to figure things out. Unfortunately, this weekend is just in July. It's usually in February or March, and we can pass out those pink slips. We're in a tough situation right now. I don't know if I can do that at this point in the game.
How many pink slips you passed out?
But honestly, like the first game, we was winning like 15-2.
Ask the question first.
How many did I pass out? I didn't really have to pass any out because I think people going, you know how people do their free agency stuff, they're gonna go jump to the other team and stuff like that.
Hey, Bryce, don't let Locke do that though, bro. I always try to put somebody to answer the question he don't never answer a damn question. Don't let Locke do that, bro. Locke's slick, dog. Don't let him do that.
I'm not worried about it. I didn't pass any out. I'm not worried about it. I ain't passing none out because, like I said, people gonna go back to the other teams or whatever they decide they want to do. But like I said, in our first game, we was up 15-2. We just haven't played at all together. Whereas the team that we played, they played together probably for like 3 or 4 years. So we didn't defend the pick and roll. We were giving up layups, yada yada. They ended up coming back and winning.
Bryce, you're a Morehouse grad, dog. I'm not letting you
What's the excuse?
How is that an excuse if you practice twice with new people?
Y'all looking pretty good. Well, I don't know. I can't y'all practice.
I mean, yeah, but what's the difference between a high school coach having a scrimmage and they get to go back to practice and see what they need to work on? Like, it's the same thing.
Hey,
Lock give you a hard time, Bryce.
I ain't worried about it. Locked on coach. Locked on the sideline, writing up tweets.
Think about it. I do this every year with Bryce.
and look, I come back and I get on my phone and I start making some calls. And next thing you know, I got some dudes walking in the building. So don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay. We're not gonna worry.
I'm gonna come back with more heat.
So I do want to know though, Coach Jones, in your career, have you ever been in a timeout and wanted to do what Bryce does and be like, yo, I'm gonna cut some guys now and just get out the way, bring in some new guys, and we're gonna start.
I don't do that during the game. I still let them play their game out.
Hey, Bryce sent the kid home. It was a full tournament. That kid played one game and Bryce sent him home.
He was soft. He was too soft.
Guess he ain't cut it.
He was soft. The dude was soft as Charmin.
He gotta go. I mean, I wish I could do that sometimes, but I can't. I gotta keep him on scholarship for a little.
Parents and kids are smart. They know when they look in your eyes after the game that they didn't reach your level of potential and expectations. So they hit you, man, coach, I think my knee hurts. We played 2 games. I'm gonna just not come back tomorrow. Perfect. And I say, okay.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Wow.
Man, you still crazy, coach.
Yeah.
It's been times I looked at Bryce during the game like, yeah, he got to go.
Gotta go.
Bryce look at each other like, yeah, he got to go.
Hey, we give you NBA. They got a 10-day sign. What they got? 10-day contract. You had a two-day contract to get the job done. If you can't, I mean, you know, it ain't no law, no issues, no beef. We don't work out. Yeah.
I don't know if you can say that there's no issue or no beef, Bryce. I mean, after you cut a kid, you know. Hey, coach, after a kid finds out that these scholarships are 1-year renewables, is there issues or beef?
Issues and beef, you know, because people think it's 4 years, but it's really 1 year at a time. But, you know, right. you can't just let people go like that all the time with the APR and all the other stuff that go into effect. So, you know, sometimes we wish you could, though.
Hey, man, these kids are 17 and 18. Some of them might be 19. I don't really know.
20. 21.
You old enough to understand what time it is, man. If you can't get the job done, then I gotta find somebody else who wants to, who will.
Question. Oh, crazy.
Hey, so coach, speaking of players,
yeah.
What you think about this transfer portal?
What I think about it, like, think about it. I mean. I think that, there's a bunch of nonsense, really, like this. I mean, you know, if people are unhappy, they could transfer. That's fine. You know, that's part of the game. It's been like that forever. But with the whole transfer portal, when they don't have to tell you that they want to leave, that's like one day you have a conversation. It's like, okay, I'm having a conversation with Bryce, and he's like, hey, coach, yeah, I can't wait till next year and stuff like. And this is something that's happened to me before. I can't wait till next year. Yeah, we're gonna get it done and stuff like that. And then the next day, compliance calls. Bryce is in the transfer portal. You're like, yo, what the hell just happened?
I heard that story a few times.
Yeah, and it's like these kids. Like sometimes they just you try to be as loyal as you can to them, but sometimes it's not the same way back. And one day they're in the transfer portal. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about it is that the coach don't really have any control over it. And not saying that you necessarily want to stop a kid, because if a kid is unhappy, you want him to leave. It's just like if you're in a relationship with somebody unhappy with you, you're not trying to keep them there. You're trying to let, go ahead, go about your business. The grass is greener. At the same time, you want to at least have.
I don't know about. Hey, coach, it depends on how fine she is. I might have to deal with it. I'm like, man, you know what?
Hey,
I'm gonna let that one slide.
I sent one a lot today. That he really just did. He probably put up with it and he stayed right where he was.
Hey man, I can't with y'all. Hey, Coach, this is what I'm talking
trying
about.
to reel him in, Coach Jones. I'm trying to reel him in.
You know what?
Hey, man, we've been in the house. We've been in the house since March, man. There's nothing to do. I have watched every podcast. I've scrolled up my Twitter timeline. I'm just trying to find things to do, man. So when I see one that look good, man, I got to send it out.
Wow.
What they call it? Feed the wolves.
Feed the wolves.
Feed
He
the
is
wolves.
feeding the wolves.
So, Coach, when you talk about that portal,
Yeah.
like it's had an impact on HBCUs. Number one, when a kid can just go in without y'all knowing, it hurts your APR if he leaves and doesn't go to another 4 year. And if you look at the numbers of who's in APR trouble, 80% of it, maybe 90, was HBCUs, and people don't understand how much it hurts the HBCUs.
No, they don't understand it. I mean, you know, like you said, like every year we're worried about our best player leaving, and not because he's unhappy, it's because somebody's tampering with him or saying, hey, you could come to this high major or whatever, and you know, and with all the glitz and glamour and stuff like that. A lot of times it don't work out too well for the kids, to be honest with you, because it's like a lot of times these kids transfer with 1 year left, you know, the grad transfer stuff. And then they've been with you for 3 or 4 years. You know, that shot that they might have took, you know that they can make, you know, like the new coach haven't seen them make it. So that, you know, now when they're missing that shot, they get put on the bench and they're not getting the same production that they would give at your play because they're not getting the same chance, honestly. The kids miss out on is that, like, you can play, and, you know, they're going to find you. I mean, we had a perfect, you know, example of that a couple of years ago when we got a kid drafted, you know, so it's like, if they can find you, if you're good enough, they're going to find you. And kids don't understand that, but you need the opportunity. If you're the 10th man at Kentucky, you're not getting drafted, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, you're not getting drafted. Like, you know, you could be the 10th man on North Carolina, Duke, you're not getting drafted. But if you're the star at Norfolk State and the star in the conference and maybe player of the year or whatever, you got a chance. You know, and even then it's hard to get drafted. I mean, you got to be, you know, be special to be drafted. So kids don't understand that, and the transfer portal gets crazier and crazier every year. But I tell you all the time that the player of the year, the rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, you might as well just say they're going to leave next year. Like, it's over because, like, somebody's going to be in their head, unfortunately.
Wow.
Coach, we was having this conversation a little bit before the show. We got to start defining what is high major, because we throw that tag around a whole lot. And we talk about it when it comes to kids. We be saying, oh, this kid, maybe we saying this kid or that kid is high major, and we saying it too early. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, I think we throw that tag around with certain schools when it comes to just conference affiliation. Oh, they Power 5, oh, they high major, when, hey, man, maybe it should be some qualifications that come with that.
I mean, you know, like we said before the show, they classify you as high major if you're in one of those conferences. You know, if your budget is X amount of dollars or whatever, you know, and if you have this facility, that facility and stuff like that, you know, the coach is making $2 million, $3 million, whatever it might be. But some of those bottom teams in those high major conferences will not play us. And I'll say that, you know, just right away. Like, we've tried to play some of the and it, like, what I do is, and I don't want to go too far off topic, is that, like, we'll keep a folder in the office about all the teams that say, like, coach, you know, we politely decline to play you because, you know, you're going to be too good for us or whatever the case is. And we just keep them in a folder. So when we recruit kids, you know, we say, hey, some of your favorite teams that might be trying to bash us won't play us. So what does that say? You know, right, about that?
They ducking the smoke, coach. They ducking the smoke.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, it's like they're like it's the end of the world. They lose to HBCU. You know, it's like, you know, it's so crazy because even when we beat Alabama in 2019, a lot of people say that's the reason why Avery Johnson, you know, got fired and things like that. And then, you know, maybe he was on the rocks already. You know, I really don't know the whole situation down there in Alabama before we played them. All I know is that we trying to go, like, we was in the NIT. You know, we were disappointed we had lost in the 3 points in the championship game in the MEAC tournament. We just wanted to go out and get a win to get our mojo back, to show people that we were a good team, that we just slipped up and lost. And then we went out there, we played, you know, we beat them. He got fired like 3 days later, you know. But
they acting like it's not your job to try to get a win, coach. I mean, you trying to win too.
I mean, it's kill or be killed almost, right? Like I mean, like he got fired. He got $6 million. I mean, you know, you can fire each a day for $6 million. For real. I got fired. They gave me a pat on the back and a damn Nike jacket. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's totally different. You know, like when you had those high major schools, and I know there's pressure because in theory you shouldn't lose to us because you have all the resources in the world. You know, like in theory. But it's like you still got to play the game. You still got to go out there. You still got to coach. You still got to play. And if you can't do those things, then you are vulnerable to lose to a team like us. So,
I think that's a big thing that we touched on. It's the perception that people perceive HBCUs a certain way, but we don't play these games on paper, big dog. We're supposed to play these games on the actual floor. And I think sometimes we play the game in our head sometimes, and we don't, understand the facts. Like we were talking, I was looking through the SEC at all the schools who are classified as high major and Power Fives that have either never been to the Sweet 16 or only been to the Sweet 16 one time. Are you really high major?
I mean, you're going to be classified as that because of the situation with the conference. Like anybody in the ACC is high major. Anybody in the SEC is high major. Like if we go to ACC tomorrow, we're gonna be high major, whether we have the resources or not. People are gonna think of us as high major. So those conferences are already kind of like grandfathered in. If you in those conferences, you high major, But like you said, those conferences got all the resources in the world. Those teams in the conference got all the resources in the world. They should, they have an easier road, let's just say, to be successful than we do. At our level. So the success that we do have, that even with our program, the success that we've had, to win the amount of games we win year in and year out, it's tough, man. Like we win since I've been here, we've averaged 18 wins a year, and 18 wins a year, that's almost 20. There you go. I like the graphic right there.
We're running the show today.
Yeah, but like 18 wins a year is like, there's a lot of coaches in the country that can't say they get 18 wins a year and they get a chance to buy games. They get a chance to buy this and buy that. And we got to go play the buy games. And then, we got to, if we win those games, it's like, big fanfare. And then we got to win, the rest of our, league games and things like that. So, it's like we don't get enough credit. Like you said, man, it's like you don't get enough credit. It's like the coaches don't get enough credit. The players don't get enough credit. I see it all the time. People think that like HBCU coaches can't coach. HBCU players can't play or something like that. But then when we go out and beat somebody, like, oh man, we didn't know you guys could actually, play or actually coach. And then it's just a whole much misconception that could go on forever, man. People think that we need sneakers and we need stuff like that. And I'm like, we don't need no sneakers, man. We need players, man. Don't send me no sneakers. Like, we get like 150 pairs of sneakers a year. Like, we don't need sneakers. Like, we need players. I was on a different call, and one of the grassroots coaches that was on there was like, hey, man, we can get together. I got a connection with Nike. He got a connection with Nike. We could send 15. He could send 15. I'm like, sneakers, man? If you really think that we need sneakers, then you are totally out of the loop of what HBCU athletics is. Like, we don't need no damn sneakers, man. We all right. I got too many sneakers.
But coach, if you got an extra pair like 12, send him a lot because he love them shoes. He love them free shoes.
We got plenty of 12s, 11s, 13, whatever it is.
Send that man a pair so you can wear them on the next show.
Okay.
Coach, I just want to know, why do we always advocate for Locke to get free stuff?
Because you always get free stuff.
Me and Huff are sitting right here, bro. Can I get some free stuff?
Y'all ain't average sizes. Especially you, Drake. You ain't no average size, dude.
Hey, they can't shop at H&M. Lot. They can't shop at Zara.
I'm definitely not shopping at H&M, bro. I can tell you that right now.
What you mean? Yeah, you can't. It's only the biggest it goes to is a large.
Yeah.
Who is wearing a large here? You wear a large, Bryce?
Yeah,
I do. They are little dudes. These dudes are childlike on this call.
Hey, right now. I've gotten whole outfit style out of bar and H&M, and I'll be out on Instagram.
Hey, coach, these guys out. Hey, when you send Locke his Norfolk State T-shirt, make sure you send him a 3T, coach, because that's what size these little dudes wearing, man.
I got that shit gonna be a blanket.
You want to belly button or something, huh? That's what you want to do?
So let's talk that talk a little bit now. Last year, y'all beat Bowling Green, and people think Bowling Green is a mid-major, right?
The Bowling Green was number 6 in the country for mid-majors at that time we beat them.
I just want to try to get all this talk out right now so people can
you can get it all out today.
Hey, can I put the graphic back up real quick? Because that's the one thing that gets me in these games that you guys are winning. Mm-hmm. The point spread is what gets me. You walk into Alabama 16-point underdog. You're a 21.5 underdog against Missouri and go and win that game. Wow. To me, that point spread, it goes to show that I just don't think. I think the narrative is controlling reality instead of reality controlling a narrative. You guys have been good for a long time. Like we're not talking about a program that lucked up, went on a run, and just got lucky and started winning. You guys have had a history of winning since you've been a part of the program.
Yeah, we got. I mean, since 2011, 2012, there's I think 14 Division I schools in Virginia, and we're number 4 in the state for the total wins. We're only behind Virginia, VCU, and Old Dominion jumped us like 2 seasons ago when we had like a subpar season. But we like right there, like we're like 5 wins behind them. We could easily jump them, next year or something like that. But teams like Virginia Tech and Longwood and James Madison and George Mason, all these schools that people might have heard of are below us in total wins, as a Division I program. And like people don't know that stuff, and it's almost disheartening a little bit because you have to like keep sharing this information, which I don't mind sharing, but I mean it helps all of us. It helps myself, it helps the university, it helps HBCUs in general, honestly. So I don't mind sharing this information at all. But it's like people just overlook it or don't want to see it or whatever. But we do a lot of good things, and there's other HBCUs that do a lot of good things too. But we do a lot of good things with our basketball program, and a lot of times obviously we're HBCU, there's no hiding that. But we try to say we're a good mid-major program. Like at the end of the day, when you see that top 25 mid-major list at the end of the year, we want to be on that list, or we want to be at least in an honorable mention or something like that. Like we want to be on that list. In the last couple of years, we have either been in that poll or honorable mention. So it's a credit to the coaches that I have, the players, the administration. I mean everybody. But we do a lot of good things. And people understand that.
I mean, Coach. 5 out of the last 7 years, you done played in the tournament. 4 straight years in the CIT, played in the NIT. There are a lot of programs that can't say that.
No, I mean, we did a study, and I think it was only, if I remember correctly, only 28 programs out of 353 across the country was able to say that. And you say 5 out of 7. I mean, this year, it's almost an asterisk because nobody played in postseason. So you could really say 5 out of 6. You know what I'm saying? So it's like no one played the postseason, and was so crazy with this tournament. Is like we was on, we had 11 new guys this year. Like we were a brand new team from the team that beat Alabama, and then we went and towards the end of the year we started to hit our groove. Like we were the highest rated team in the conference going into that tournament, and we couldn't even play the tournament. So it's like. Oh, that was crazy, man.
Let me just rewind for a second. You guys beat Alabama with Avery Johnson with Colin?
No, he wasn't. Colin. He wasn't there. Colin wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
It was who they had there. I mean, they won like 19 games that year. Something. They
was the year after with Petty.
Okay, got you. They still tough.
Petty.
I want to start talking about the talent level. What has been consistently said from the coaches that we talk about, or the coaches that we brought on the show was, hey man, look, I'm coming to recruit your state, but man, look, you can't give me your 6th or 7th best guy. Like you know what I mean? Like I can't win with that guy. You got to give me a dude. And we consistently kind of show some of the videos from incoming recruiting classes. But before we do that, Coach, I do want to show one vid. We found a vid of a game between Norfolk State and North Carolina A&T. And I'm sorry, Coach, it's so live that every opportunity that I get to show this video, I've got to show this video. I just want you to kind of talk about while we're playing this video, just kind of talk about what this matchup, what it means to both universities, the type of environment that kids can expect to be in when they come and play for your program. I'll cue it up here.
All right. I mean, I'm trying to see what's the exact video. I'm almost sure I know what video you have, but I just want to see it anyway.
It's incredible.
Oh yeah, this video right here. The atmosphere in here for that game. You know, at the time, both teams were battling for first place, so it was like whoever won that game was going to be first place, and you could see the energy. I mean, just was crazy. You know, A&T, they do a good job of anyway, and then you know, over the last 8 years, 7 years, we've won 75% of our games in conference, so we really the villain for real. You know, so like. It was packed in there. I mean, it was jam-packed in there. And then, of course, this happens, you know, like, and nothing happened, no skirmish, but just the energy was just in there. And, you know, they won that game that time. And, you know, it was just a great game, though, great atmosphere in that game.
When I close my eyes, Coach, when growing up playing ball, when you close your eyes and when you imagine what you want a college experience to be like,
yeah,
this is what I wanted when I was a kid. Like, this is why we play the game. This looks fun, man. This looks like everything that basketball is supposed to be.
That was a fun game. That definitely was a fun game. You know, I think it was fun for the fans involved, for the, you know, whoever, the players. You know, it was an intense atmosphere. I mean, you know, I think they scored the first point of that game. It's like you feel like the building erupted. You know, it's like a coach. You know, you can feel that, man. You know, it's like oh man, we in a game tonight. You know, it's like you got to bring it. So it was good. But A&T, I mean, they weren't really our rival like that at that point. Our rival was more like probably Central because we've been like the two top teams in the conference for a long time, like year in and year out. So that's probably more of our rival, but A&T is becoming they only got one more year left in the conference, but it's like it's really Central that's like probably more of our rival than A&T. But for that game, being that it was first place on the line and everybody knew it was first place on the line, that game was crazy in there. It was crazy in there. So.
I hear you say everything goes or the rival is really Central. I was told that when it comes to the MEAC, everything goes through Durham. Coach, you feel free to weigh in, man. What is that battle like between you and Coach Moten?
It's a good battle, man. I mean, usually, like I said, we usually have the two top teams, you know, year in and year out. You know, I won Coach of the Year a couple years ago. He won Coach of the Year a couple years before that. So it's like, you know, and then our records are very similar as programs and stuff like that. So I guess you could say two of the top coaches in the conference, or two of the best teams. So that atmosphere is ridiculous. I mean, even 2 out of the last 3 years we played them in the championship game, you know, at a MEAC tournament. And you know, credit to them, they won that game. They do have a great program down there. So I can't take anything away from what Lavelle and NC Central has done. But you know, they know that it might go through them, but they got to see us too, though. They know that.
No doubt.
So let's talk about the MEAC for a minute. And I know, obviously, we know what's in the news of losing a couple of teams that are going to the SWAC. How do you think the MEAC bounces back from that? Are there a team? Well, I don't know. You don't want to call teams out, but are there, you know, some regional areas they should look for to try to add some pieces?
I mean, something has to be done. I think we were on a call this morning about that something being done. So I think the MEAC is actively looking for expansion. How it goes, but they're actively looking for expansion. I mean, they have to at this point. You know, like a lot of teams have left, and we would be a fool to think that other teams aren't being talked to, you know, as well. You know, so you know, we can't be blinded by that as well as that those teams left and nobody else is trying to leave. You know, there's other talks, you know, going on. Don't get me wrong at all. But, you know, I think that the MEAC, you know, just has to do something just to overall just, you know, kind of renovate the brand a little bit, you know, because like I said, there are a lot of great players and coaches and things like that in the league that's just not getting enough publicity. Maybe we need a new PR firm. I don't know what we need exactly, but if you talk to coaches, like even like I will call somebody out, Kevin Brodus, who came from Maryland, and he was at America East and stuff like that. The one thing, me and him were pretty good friends. The one thing he said that when he came to the league, he was almost in a sense shocked about how many good coaches and good players there were because of the perception of the league. So we have to figure out how to change the perception, which will lead to us, I think, being a little bit more viable and making people actually want to come to the MEAC instead of trying to leave the MEAC. And I know there's a lot of talk of different Division II teams trying to move up and stuff like that, but a lot of Division II teams don't want to move up because there is a financial burden. People look at those teams in the CIAA, the SIAC, and things like that. And there's a lot of good teams in there. You got Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, all those teams, and you got, even like I'm looking at the thing right now, Winston-Salem, Bowie. But there's a $1.6 million application for Division I, though. A lot of those teams don't have $1.6 million laying around. So it's very tough for them just to move up just because they're good. They might be good in Division II, but they're not financially. They don't have the money to move up to Division I, and they probably can compete, honestly, in Division I, MEAC, but they just don't have the resources to make that move to Division I. So, that's what we have with that.
That's tough. I'm seeing schools kind of do it on the other side. It is definitely a slow process. I mean, I watched Northern Kentucky for a long time be very dominant at the Division II level, and it took a long time for them to get to Division I level, and they were dominant in Division II for a long time. Same thing with Bellarmine.
They won a national championship, didn't they? Didn't they win a national championship? Got to the Final Four or something, right?
They did. Yeah. They did. And Bellarmine has been the same way. In Louisville, they were Division III for a long time and moved up to Division II. Now they're finally making their move to Division I. Typically, you're talking about something for a lot of schools that could take a decade to accomplish.
And people don't understand that. People think that it's just like, okay, there's schools that will probably be perfect fits. Like I see someone on here said Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem did come a couple years ago. It's right there. They went back down because of the financial burden. And there's schools like Virginia State that's really good, too, in the CIAA, and Bowie State, which is really good. But a lot of those schools are not going to make that jump because it's just too much of a burden. It's a business. It's a big business at Division I. I say it all the time. It's like, for me, my basketball budget is a little bit over $1 million, for my basketball budget. And I always tell people all the time, it's like being a CEO of $1 million company. Like if you're a CEO of $1 million company, you got to make sure that $1 million company works, well. A lot of small businesses don't make $1 million, So like if you're a CEO of $1 million company, you got to make sure your employees, which are like the coaches, the players in a sense, those are chosen correctly to have your company's vision. And then you have to be productive, or you're not going to have $1 million company anymore. Like you're going to lose it. So, I don't want to lose my $1 million company. I'll tell you that much. So, you got to choose wisely and make sure you do the right things.
It's funny you said that statement, CEO. That's the key term they're using now when we're trying to get hired as Black coaches. We need a CEO. We went from, well, you can't be a recruiter, you got to be a coach. Then it went from you got to be a coach to a CEO. So I'm glad to hear that come out your mouth, that you are a CEO, and that we're understanding, as much as things have to change, we also have to have the right verbiage to understand that we are CEOs of that program that we coach.
No, without question. I think a lot of times, man, as Black coach, people think that you're just a recruiter. The Black guy, he's going to recruit the kids and stuff like that. He don't know what he's doing X and O wise. But then, when you go out and you do have some of these big stage wins, you show the whole world what you can do X and O wise. For me, even I was fortunate enough to do a night championship clinic in UConn last year. And it was like the first time an HBCU coach got invited to do it in God knows when. And it's like, I think I did pretty well, because it's like it's almost a funny dynamic. It's like after you do it, they have like a little 5-minute session before they go to the next guy. And like people are coming like left and right, like, oh my God, coach. Like I think people didn't think that, you knew what you're talking about. Man, so they're almost like shocked. Like, wow, he actually know what the hell's going on. And so, it was that Nike actually invited me back like 3 weeks later to do a Myrtle Beach clinic, which like I was the first HBCU coach to do one, period, and then to do 2 in 1 year was like unprecedented. But it's like, you got to go out there and show that you're just more than a recruiter, like recruiting is just one aspect of the game. I mean, you got to coach, and that's the problem why a lot of times black coaches fail when they get their shot, because you'll get I'll use your word, Dre. You'll get a black coach who's at a high major, right? And all he does is recruit all day. He's never called a timeout. The coach has never let him drill and practice, never let him do anything. So he gets his shot for being a high major recruiter, right? So he'll get his head coaching shot, but then he'll get his shot, and when he calls that first timeout, he has no answers. So then, they'll fall short, right? And then it look like that all black coaches are just recruiters; they can't coach. But you already set up the black coach to fail by not allowing him to do anything in practice. You didn't allow him to do anything in practice, so it's like you already set him up to fail when he get his chance. So now what happens? What happens now? The black coach fails. They hire 3 other coaches, before it happens. You know what I'm saying? Now they go back to maybe a black coach, and hopefully you can, have one that's successful.
I love it. We're talking that talk today. I love it. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got to ask about the shirt, Coach. We made America great. Let's talk about it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. We could. I mean, this is a clothing line that one of my friends from college, it's like 2 girls. They actually live in Atlanta now. They got it's called Harlem Girl Clothing. Even though they live in Atlanta now, whatever, they're from Harlem. And they sent the shirt to wear. I was like, yeah, that's a catchy shirt. It's like, send it to me. I'll wear it. I'll put it up on social media so people could buy it and stuff like that. And they've got some good sales from it and stuff. And they're giving a portion of it. I forgot to what charity, or whatever it is. But they keep saying, make America great again. I mean, I'm with the shirt. We made America great already. So what we gonna do again?
Beat that talk, Coach.
Yeah.
No question. Coach, I want to get into before you have to go, man. I want to get into some outlooks for next season and talk about this recruiting class, man. You got I'll start with the young man that you got as a transfer. Tell us a little bit about this kid, Mustafa Lawrence, that's coming over from Fresno State. Man, this kid can do a little bit of everything, Coach.
Yeah, Mustafa Lawrence, man. We had a kid this year, Jermaine Bishop. He was our leading scorer. He averaged 16 overall, 18 in conference. But we were waiting on a 6-year waiver for him, and we didn't get it. It got denied. So we had to think, we had to move quick to get a kid that could come in and try to get us somewhere close to double digits. He might not be able to get 18. And Mustafa was out there. He's a transfer from Fresno State. He averaged about 7 at Fresno State. He has 1 year left of eligibility. And for us, we think that he could be a good scorer for us in our conference and just overall. He can shoot the 3. He can put it on the floor. He can drive it. He's just a dog. He could, he's a dog, man. He wants all the smoke, and we want him to have it. So we look forward to him.
No doubt, Coach. I feel like the shooting is something that you guys value a lot. Is that something that you look at for every kid as you start evaluating? Is how well they shoot the ball? Is that something that you guys look at?
Man, I think that shooting the ball, you got to be able to shoot the ball in this day and age. That 3-point line has gotten a little further back for college. It's at like 22-9 now. So you need guys who can stretch the floor, and then it opens it up for your bigs to do some things. Last season, not this season, but last season we had the number 1 shooter in the country, and Derrick Jameson Jr. He shot 49.6 from 3, and he was the number 1 shooter in the country. So at some point he was shooting 51% from 3. But he had a couple bad games, I guess, right? So he only finished shooting 49% from 3. But he was the 1 shooter in the country. So really, you have to get spoiled with him. It's like you try to get some more guys who can do something close to that.
For sure.
That's amazing right there.
Now I want to talk about the big pickup, Coach. We're gonna put this one on the screen now.
All right, let's put it on the screen.
Andre working today, boy.
Hey, Coach, you went and got a kid that originally committed to St. John's, man. You got Nate Tabor, 6'6", top 100 level kid. Let's talk about it, Coach.
Nate Tabor, man. Like you say, it's not often that HBCUs get these top 100 kids. And at one point during Nate's career, he was ranked as high as 42 in the country. So, if you look on the ESPN list, if you see his name He's like, no, I think the last rank was like 30 on the East Coast or whatever, or East region or whatever it is. Everybody on that list went to a Power 5 school, and he's the only one that that did something. Forget about HBCU, only mid-major wise, he did something. So I think what's going on, with the whole racial, stuff that's going on in the country, which has been going on forever, honestly. But it's like it's opening guys' minds up to HBCUs and playing for their own. And he was one of the kids that has decided to do that. There's a lot of talk of kids trying to play for HBCUs that are I think doing it for clout chasing a little bit. But he actually said that I'm going to play for HBCU, and he's a top 100 kid, but a potential future pro. Because he's 6'6" guard, 205. He's college ready right now. He's ready right now. You know what I'm saying? So, he's gonna be. We look forward to him. I'll tell you that much. We look forward to him, and hopefully, and honestly, with him, when he signed, we knew we were getting a good kid, but I didn't realize how much fanfare it was going to get because, the Washington Post, the New York Times, called me. All these people called me about him, and then on social media, it was going crazy, and then even for him. He called me. He said he didn't realize I was going to get all that much fanfare because you got like HBCU alumni from across the country, not just Norfolk State, hitting them up and saying, hey, man, whatever you need, we're going to take care of you, stuff like that. Or, I told him, hey, don't let them take care of you so much or we all going to be in trouble, right? But, I understand what I understand what's going on. Like they are gravitated towards him because, they want to see more of our top kids come to HBCUs, and for him to be in top 100 in the country for HBCU is like major. We expect hopefully down the road he'll be our next pro.
Definitely looks like it to me, Coach. That when you walk in at first, you see the kid doing what he's doing, especially on EYBL playing for the Wrens. Like that's typically top level talent right there, man. So I hope that this opens up the floodgates, man, and we start to see kids go ahead and make this move. Yeah,
like I said, I hope that I see it, and not just talking about it. Like, everybody wants cloud media is like the devil a little bit, people chasing different things or whatever, but it's like you hope that somebody actually will do it. I said on a call like not too long ago, and I'll say it on this one, is that like it has to happen like now. You know what I'm saying? Because if it don't happen now, like we such a society that's going to just forgive and forget. We're going to right now the protesting is at a high level, and I'm actually surprised it's been on this long. It's a good thing though, that's been on this long because usually it's like 72 hours. You don't hear about it no more. A weekend, you don't hear about it no more. But, it's been weeks, months at this point that's still isolated protests is still, in the forefront. So the same thing with the HBCU things. Like, of course, this is in the forefront now, but when things, in quote, get better, people might just forget all about going to HBCU. They're gonna go back to any of the Power Fives and say, oh, it's okay, things are better now. When things, haven't got better in 100 years.
Now, Coach, I know you got some New York ties. You had New York going crazy as soon as we put out that you were going to be on the show. But what are some of your ties to the South, man? We talked about you having a couple of kids from Georgia in the past. Do you like recruiting those kids? And do you see a difference in how the game is played based on region that you recruit?
First of all, I'll recruit anywhere. I don't give you Antarctica. If you could play, I'll recruit you. If I got money left in my budget to go fly up there, I'll go recruit you. Whatever. But so that the region really don't matter to me. Of course, I'm from New York, so that was when I first got down here. That was the easiest place, to go back home to get some players. I think you should if you're a good enough guy, as a coach, you should always be able to go back home and get a player.
Players, yeah.
If you can't go back home, then you're not a good guy.
You're a bum.
Yeah,
you're a bum.
Either you're a bum or you wasn't coming outside, or I don't know what's going on. But if you can't go back home and get a player, man. So it started with that, and then honestly, at first, a lot of Virginia players wouldn't come to Norfolk State because we weren't good, at first. So like they would go everywhere else besides Norfolk State. So it's like, okay, people used to get mad at us for not recruiting Virginia players. But it's like, if they don't want to come, I can't force them to come, So what happened was when we started getting better, we started getting Virginia players. So now, okay, we got the New York thing, Jersey thing. Virginia thing or whatever. So we kept branching out. Then we went down. We did go down to Georgia. Got Zanai and Devin Dorsett from down there, and I've been down there a few times to swing on a few other kids that we didn't get. It happens. But as far as style of play, of course, New York. You got the flashy guards, man. You got the guys that's putting the ball between their legs 15 times. Whether you only want them to put it between the chains 2 times, they put it between 15. You know what I'm saying? So I already know what time it is when you get a New York player. I mean, I played in New York, so I know what time it is. The one thing I will say is that the further you get south, in my opinion, it gets way more athletic. Like some of the athletes that are in the South, those same athletes are not in New York. Like maybe New York has got some guys who, like I said, handle the ball better, pass the ball better, a little bit or whatever. But as far as like athletes and stuff like that, no, it's like night and day. Like it said, like the further you go south, the higher people jumping. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. But the kids here, they probably can handle the ball pretty well too. But all the tweeters and the writers and all them people, and sometimes the coaches, they probably don't let their kids dribble the ball that much. They give them 3 dribbles. They give them 2 dribbles, and that's it. They don't,
You're right.
So different coaching style too.
Oh, you're right. I agree. I agree with that because there's kids all across the country that can handle the basketball. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it seems like there's an emphasis on like you got to be able to handle the ball if you play in New York. Like it's like I don't know.
Got too many street ball legends, coach.
I was gonna say, who's your N1 mixtape guy? That's usually lock question right there.
Oh, Rafer Austin, Skip to my Lou. Without question. I had Skip spoke at my tip-off banquet last year. I had to dig him up and speak. He did a phenomenal job. And, to be honest with you, like I know Skip, and I wasn't quite sure the job that he was going to do because I know that Skip has been around. Right? So, but to Skip's credit, when he got up there, it was heartfelt. He talked about his struggles from the streets, to, and one to making the league and making $30 million and blowing some of that money. And, he really was real transparent. And we got some great feedback. Actually, afterwards, man, for real, I told him, driving him to the airport the next day, I was like, you should really look into doing more speaking engagements because you speak way better than what people might think because, you were kind of like a street dude, and a street dude, street ball dude and stuff like. I mean, he can speak with the best of them. I did my banquet. I'll tell you this. I did my banquet 7 years in a row. He's probably the second best speaker we had behind Jay Williams. Jay Williams did a phenomenal job. But he's probably the second best speaker we had. And we've had a whole bunch of people speak, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, Skip had the N1 throw on fire, man.
Yeah, on fire.
Bro.
I'm going to ask you this. Is Allen better than Skip?
Man, I told Skip, man, Skip was the only guy that I knew back in the hood, man, that could shut down the whole hood. And he wouldn't even show up until halftime. It's like, yo, what you doing? And I told Skip too. I was like, he owed me to come and do my banquet because he almost got me killed, man. Like I went to see Skip play one day, 4th of July weekend. It's funny that we're doing this 4th of July weekend, right? And he was playing against Headache out there. He ain't getting. Yeah, and this is in the hood, right? This is in the hood. So he came to the neighborhood. Headache is doing his thing. Headache was really doing his thing for real, right? And then Skip shows up at halftime. People start throwing aspirin on the floor. Aspirin, so
is that true? That's a true story?
This is a true story.
I heard about that. I didn't think that was true.
Oh, no, this is the truth. I was there. This is a true story. So, so Skip started doing his thing. And he was doing his thing. He was on a team with the late Dave Edwards, which just passed away recently with the COVID virus and stuff like that. But Skip, started doing his thing. So you hear pop, pop, pop. So people think it's fireworks. I mean, it's 4th of July weekend. I mean, hey. Who don't got a M80 in their back pocket, right? So it's but then it went from pop to and then everybody and then man, I tell you this much, that's before I had a car, back in New York, and me and my pals, after we got up, after everybody hit the deck, we must have ran 3 miles back home. When after a while we didn't have to run no more, but the adrenaline was just going. You ran. And unfortunately that night, 2 or 3 people got killed, man. It was unfortunate. It was actually at the Lost Boys tournament. The Lost Boys, a rap group or whatever. But they were a little bit more than a rap group, back then. So
you know about the Lost Boys, Bryce?
Huh? Yeah, man. Hey, coach, they be trying me like I don't know music.
You young, man. You a young boy, huh?
They be trying to sum me on this track.
Oh, man, hold on, do that, man. Don't let him do that.
I've been on my music all quarantine, just catching up, Dre. You see, I be sending you all types of stuff, Dre.
Hey, you done had some fire, Bryce. You done had some fire. I'm gonna get all like going back to 2019. Hey. You done been all right, Bryce.
And then I jumped on that 42 dub. Woo!
I was already on that though.
Yeah, you was on that. You was on that.
I was on Doug early. You on that versus that fabulous Jada versus you.
I know. To be honest with you, I didn't catch most of it because I was actually on the phone with a recruit trying to get something done. You know what I'm saying? But I put the last 3 songs of it, and I ended up listening to like the playlist. I know everybody. Fab is like, I like Fab. You know, I like those guys, right? Like Jada's been in my house and stuff like that or whatever. Because I actually been in the music industry before I came down and started doing this stuff or whatever, right? So it's like everybody was like Fab got washed, and I'm like, no way, how you get washed? Like, but then I'm listening to the playlist, and I'm like, who chose that order? Like that was
the order was a little messed up. He like waited to hit all his bangers. He waited for the second round, but Jada was not playing no games
at all, bro.
He wasn't playing no games.
No games with him, man.
And Fab is my guy. Like Fab is, I rock with Fab like hard. Yeah. Jada was not playing no games.
I just didn't feel like there was no way that Fab was gonna beat Jada, dog. Like I just don't, bro. Like I didn't.
It depended on the lineup of the way that they order the songs, though.
And mind you, though, for me though, that and I gotta show my ignorance to this point. I didn't get all the mixtape Fab stuff. So I didn't get the full summertime shootout. I didn't get all of that. I missed some of that.
Hey, right.
Huh?
When Jada hit him with the All About the Benjamins, people just think about Jada's verse, not realizing he wrote Puffy's verse.
Man, he was. I went back afterwards and went back on Tidal and listened to it again. He had some smoke on that joint.
Oh, yeah, man. He has cold-blooded. There was nothing that Fab could do that, but just sit down somewhere that day.
And they saying Fab let Brooklyn down.
Gotta go sit down, man. Jada had you that night, man. And Fab is like really the bigger artist for real.
Yeah.
But not that night. That night though.
I feel like for Fab to win, he was gonna have to take it and play all of those R&B.
Yeah.
He should have been with it first without trying to go street record for street record with Jada. That wasn't going to work. You got to play the record for the ladies, Play that. He would have destroyed him.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
He didn't want to go to Lil Mo early.
Hey, Andre, he should have went straight to that throw it in the bag, and he would have been good. That's the point.
Facts.
Yep.
So, but Coach, you mentioned that Jada was at the crib. Y'all homies?
Yeah, I've done like a lot of shows with Jada. Like when I used to work with 50 Cent before when I was coaching high school.
Oh, 50.
Yeah, I used to work with 50. Like I used to do tour management for 50 Cent, like in G Unit or whatever. So like when I was coaching at St. Mary's High School in New York, I mean, let's be honest, the high school salary wasn't, going to do nothing. So it just so happened that I did entertainment when I was in college. Like I was actually in charge of the entertainment committee. So I just basically took my contacts from college when I finished, and then just started doing my own business. To be honest with you, so I did that and started coaching, and I started doing that together. But so like from 50, I used to work with Violator Management. Yeah, with Mike Lighty and Chris Lighty and those guys or whatever. Rest in peace, Chris Lighty. And that went from like just doing stuff for G Unit to doing stuff like with Jada Kiss, and I mean, I've done stuff with Fab, 2 Chainz, everybody for real. But Jada was like a guy that like was a cool dude that like I was real good with his DJ Killer Touch at the time. So he brought Jada to the crib a few times. Like we just kicking it. Like I mean, he's a real regular dude. I can respect that. Like there was no Hollywood stuff, and he had a lot more money in his pocket than I did. But there was no Hollywood stuff at all with him.
Man, so I'm with the Locks period.
Yeah,
like they're one of the groups that I feel like I've been like the most impressed with as they got older, bro. Mm-hmm. Like to see where like Sheik and Styles are right now in life, like with the fresh juices and like the positivity Like to me, that's growth, man. Like when we go back and look at that era of music, like the TIs and all of those guys that talk about where they came from to where they are now, like leading in certain areas, like that's growth. Could you see any of that back then? Were those conversations being had behind the scenes back then?
Nah, no way, man.
That's what I thought.
Next show or next hit, whatever. But it's like, it's almost like how basketball, like the ball's gonna stop bouncing eventually. And with music, the hits are going to stop coming. Like the number one records are going to stop coming. The tours are going to stop coming. So you got to figure out what you're going to do. Like even like right now, obviously I'm fully invested into coaching, but I keep my post on entertainment wise. Just because I need a job, I got to be able to go back, right? if they get rid of me or something. But like there's a lot of artists that's out here that's struggling during this COVID because they can't go out and get a show. They can't go out and they can't go get a show right now. Like. So that, they might have been making 20, 30,000 a show or whatever, but they spending 20, 30,000 every time they get it. And now for 3 months, they haven't touched not one show, and like, so it's like, they're struggling a little bit and they don't want to, but there's a lot of struggling artists out there right now. I mean, if guys in the NBA are talking about that they need to go back to work because they need their paycheck, you think these artists that are making way less than them are not struggling? They're struggling, man.
Facts. Hey, Coach Locke normally asks this, but now I gotta really know who's controlling the music in y'all locker room. You got so much influence on the music side. Are you doing it or the players doing it?
Are you DJing, Coach?
Nah, I ain't DJing a damn thing. I ain't DJing. I mean, like I let them do it, man. I let them, I mean, I don't know who do it for real. All I know when usually when I'm walking, they cut it off. So it's like, I don't know who doing it. I mean, I don't know who doing it. Like, all the pregame stuff or whatever. I have no idea who's doing that stuff. I mean, my son keeps me up on some of the latest music. He's 12 years old, so he keeps me up on some of the stuff, and I'm able to relate, to the recruits and stuff like that. With Little Baby and the Baby and Baby Boy and all that. So,
it's a lot of babies, Coach. It's a lot of babies.
A lot of baby, Birdman, baby, all that baby. What I mean? It's like, and some of the Little Baby stuff, I like it. I'm not so old that I'm like oblivious to like liking some new music. Like I'm not like one of those guys that like when I get in the car, I gotta put on MC Shan and Big Daddy Kane all the guys. Right? I could put on Little Baby or the Baby or whatever, stuff like that. So it's cool.
But when you go in to recruit and you gotta go get them, what's your playlist like?
He's listening to Pop Smoke, dog.
Pop Smoke. But I tell you this much though, when like if I am listening to like Jay-Z or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm on that official visit and we driving the kid around campus, immediately I switch to the Little Baby or Pop Smoke playlist. I know what these kids like now, you know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, some of the songs are not bad anyway. Like they're not bad. Some songs are like what's going on, but some other songs are not bad, and so I know what to play when I got a recruit in the car, that Apple, when you go to Apple and you got that playlist, that hip hop now or rap now or whatever,
right?
I believe that's the first thing that's played when the recruit is in the car, man. You the coolest coach in the world. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, you like that?
Kids love NBA YoungBoy, and I'm like, dude, I can't. I'm sorry, like I can't get with that. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't tell you a song he got for real. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm sure I've heard it, because
I couldn't either.
But I can't really tell you the song he got.
Hey, so Coach, we got to make our way up there to Norfolk.
Yeah, man.
We got.
Hold on, Dre. You can't keep saying Norfolk because they're gonna get mad at you. It's Norfolk, like Norfolk.
Norfolk.
Don't be mad at Dre.
You can't never say like Norfolk.
Dre never really like that. Dre from Louisville.
Oh, okay.
And look, he said Louisville wrong. How you gonna get mad at me, bro?
How you say it?
Louisville.
It's pronounced Luhlv. Louisville.
I can't say that. My
Hey,
right? Just don't mess up Norfolk again, all right? Okay.
Norfolk. I'm gonna practice, coach. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna practice.
Yeah.
I just want to know where to get the best lemon pepper wings at when we come up there, man. I'm trying to get some wings.
My crib. I make the best ones. I don't care what nobody say. I make the best honey lemon pepper. I make honey lemon pepper. I get busy.
Word,
straight up. So if you come up here, I got you with the honey lemon pepper wings. Straight up.
Oh, Dre on the next plane up there.
Dre already booking his trip.
Yep.
Honey lemon pepper. I didn't even know that was a. Hey, yeah, we. Let's gas up, big dog.
You driving? You driving? I'm gonna fly. Hey, I got Delta miles. I'm fine.
Yeah, man. Come hang out on the beach and stuff, man. The beach is open. The beach is safe. Our numbers are actually pretty good in Virginia, honestly. So,
no doubt. I haven't heard much about you guys being out there in the way.
Our governor is a physician by trade, so he did it systematically.
Right.
Yeah,
I need to know the night spots to hit up, man. I'm a night guy.
You'll cut it with my assistant spots.
Hey, see, look, Locke trying to hook up the official visit details. Locke, we do that offline, bro.
Yeah, man, he want a 48-hour official visit right now. Like,
hey, if you bring Locke on an official visit, just know you ain't gonna go to sleep. It ain't gonna be no.
Oh no, Bryce. I'm going to sleep, man. You know what I mean? He can do whatever he wants.
I went on an official visit with Locke to Vegas, and I would never go again. Just know that.
That's Vegas, though.
He can do whatever he wants in
Vegas.
I can't hang. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, we definitely appreciate you coming on, man. We know we up against the time slot, but man, definitely appreciate it. Wishing you guys the best for your program. We're gonna keep our eye out. We watching them killers that you bringing in this year, man. We know 2021 season gonna go up whenever that season kicks off.
Yeah,
hopefully we get to get started. But definitely looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you guys. This was fun. This was a little different than some of the other stuff I do. It wasn't as boring.
Oh yeah, coach. We ain't no coaching clinic, coach.
I'm glad I had my damn I had the whiteboard ready just in case I had
to you don't need that here, coach.
We don't want no X's and O's.
It was definitely cool, talking to y'all and stuff like that, and hopefully everybody who watched it, enjoyed it and stuff like that. Some was cool too. I see them and everything like that. So appreciate it. Hopefully you could check out Norfolk State this year basketball wise, and behold the green and gold.
Behold the green and gold. Hey man, that's Coach Jones, head coach at Norfolk State, man. We getting busy.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Get it right.
It is not Norfolk, man. Stop saying that, man.
Wait, I can't. What did I say? How did I say it again?
Norfolk State.
Norfolk State.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Wait, say it again, Rock.
Norfolk State.
There we go.
You gotta have the country.
Hey, I'm not trying to whisper it, dog. So we can.
You gotta have the country accent with it, though.
All right, man. Y'all fellas be good, man.
Appreciate you, Coach.
No doubt. Coach.
Hey.
I'm gonna be in the mirror trying to say that shit over and over and over again until I get it. Norfolk.
You gotta say it with your chest.
No, that's not it either. Shit.
That was a little bit better though.
Hey man, we gotta start understanding the school that you sending your kids to might not really be high major. They might just be in a high major conference, dog. We passing up a lot of schools that create pros, that go to the tournament, that win games and get it done. And we don't send. I'm gonna keep that in people's face, dog. I'm gonna keep that in people's face. Y'all gonna be mad at me. I know Wake Forest got a new coaching staff, but when's the last time they've been good?
Wake Forest is in the ACC. That's a tough conference. They still got a ways to go.
Real tough.
Who's
ready for the tip-off class?
Are y'all going? Are we going?
I'm pulling up.
I really don't like driving to Swanee, to be honest.
I haven't been. Hey, man. Gotta go support.
I mean, but I'll go since he letting us in for the free ski. I might go.
I'm gonna go because they're mandating mask. If they're mandating mask and they're making people wear a mask,
everybody going tomorrow for the Matthew Cleveland show?
Oh,
I
no,
think
I'm
we'll
going
go tomorrow.
online.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's more than Matthew Cleveland out there, man.
Who else?
I'm just saying, like, I
know a couple of kids.
If y'all not going Friday night?
That's what I'm saying. But Friday, Matthew Cleveland plays.
I was going Friday night.
I want to watch Usain Holt again.
Yeah, he's solid. He's good.
And Robin making his debut back out. He sat out last week, so
what did he
he's
hurt?
been talking mad cash.
That's what he does. That's not new.
Robbie probably the most competitive kid that we have. Hey, before we talk about the Tip-Off Classic, Dylan Hunter is leaving Georgia.
Yeah, I heard it's not his decision.
Sheesh.
Are you gonna get into that?
I don't know. I heard.
Now press him, Bryce. What's he mean by that?
I heard it wasn't his choice. I heard he didn't want to leave. I heard he wanted to finish at the school that his brothers finished at Westlake.
He might be back.
I agree with Dylan, but I mean, you know, I ain't nobody. But so for those who don't know, for those who don't know, let's talk about it though. Dylan Hunter is going to play with Amani Bates for a new prep school. Was this prep school existing before, or did they create this? I think they just made this prep, right?
His dad is creating a prep school, yeah. As far as
Ypsilanti Prep or whatever this is.
Something like that.
So Amani Bates is leaving Ypsilanti Lincoln, and they're starting Ypsi Prep. And it looks like Dylan Hunter is one player that we can confirm that's going there to play with Amani Bates. And they were supposed to be playing in the City of Palms, but as of last night, it doesn't sound like they're going to be in City of Palms.
It must be something with their roster. That's what I'm assuming.
I feel like, I don't know. Maybe they asked for our appearance fee. You know, a lot of times these schools be getting 10 G's, 15, you know, to show up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true.
I hate that our players leave the state, though.
Yeah. That definitely hurts us, especially if you're a top kid like him.
I really hate that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, that means Caruth and my boy Jalal gonna have to step up this year for Westlake.
Are they staying there?
I'm pretty sure. Well,
I was waiting for somebody to do
pretty sure Jalal gonna stay there.
I ain't hating. I'm just literally asking.
Yeah, that's always a question, right?
Right.
I think Jalal will stay there. Caruth, I don't know.
July probably still, yeah.
I mean, you got a good coach. You got a good coach. They normally play a really good schedule. But I mean, I think losing Dylan Hunter is gonna hurt. I not playing in City of Palms, I don't, maybe they're gonna try to do the Sierra Canyon World Tour thing with Amani Bates. Does Amani Bates have that juice? He's the number one player, but does he have that World Tour juice?
Yeah. I see him at Hoops Giving.
Yeah, he has that juice, Madre.
Can they do the same thing? Like, does he have that? Because Sierra Canyon was loaded.
He the number one player in the class.
No, I agree with that though, Bryce. But it was more than just the talent at Sierra that sold it, being them able to pack out arenas. It was the fact that LeBron James' kid plays there, Dwayne Wade's kid was playing there. There's a lot of fanfare around it. I mean, can every number one player in the country go on a nationwide tour like that and sell out games?
I mean, they're saying this dude is the next like KD, next LeBron. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't know. I haven't seen him play in person, but I mean, he's the number one player in the class. So that's, to me, that's enough.
Chris would be the man. Well, yeah, Chris already does his thing. If he can bring that team to Hoops Giving,
I'm sure he's trying.
but put him up against like A team in Atlanta.
Who would you put him up against in Atlanta?
Milton.
I don't
Milton
know.
or Kale. What else school you can? What else school? Or Sandy Creek. Sandy Creek would be the best school.
I was thinking Pace. To be honest.
True, Pace.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Grayson. I don't know what Grayson's gonna have. I don't know.
Let me keep my mouth shut because last time they almost ran up on me in the gym.
I don't know what Norcross is gonna have. I don't know what McEachern's gonna have.
We don't know what Holy Innocents are gonna have.
Hey, we don't know what Huff's gonna have.
Whoa.
Hey, so I do want to the whole transfer talk, man. I just want to say this: we need to start paying attention to the schools people are leaving as much as we pay attention to the schools that they're going to.
Okay, so can you give us an example?
Okay. It was a big fuss about Colin Sexton leaving Hillgrove.
That's the easy one. No.
I'm not just gonna stick with Colin though.
Okay.
Let's look at the lineage of players that have left Hillgrove.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a lot of them.
The Wades
left Hillgrove. Your kid Bryce.
Who?
Your kid
Patrick?
That went to him too, DJ Patrick, but the kid that went to Alatoona.
Kid on Alatoona.
You got me on that one.
I know Blake left. Went to Pebblebrook.
Blake left and went to Pebblebrook. But Dad, we talk about this kid all the daggone time. I don't know why my mind is drawing a blank.
What's his class?
Terrell R.
Yeah. Terrell R was at Hillgrove and left and went to Alatoona.
Put that last comment on the headline, please.
The same guys we have.
Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about him, right? So before the COVID stuff, I'm attending one of my social gatherings as I do at the gathering place, and as soon as I walk in the door, somebody said, "Oh yeah, they got some coming in." Oh really?
I don't know anything about that, Bryce.
Okay. I'm probably making the story up though.
I just want that's just my thing. That's one school an example. I'm not necessarily pointing or shooting at anything at them. I just think that we always pay attention.
So what's another school that a lot of kids leave from? Is my question. Besides that school,
I mean, everybody just left Eastside.
Okay.
Did everybody not just leave Eastside? And I'm not necessarily saying anything bad. I'm just saying that if we're going to criticize people for transferring, then don't just criticize the school that's getting the kids. We may want to take a look at the school where the kids are leaving, and maybe there's a reason why. I don't know anything about Eastside, so I have no idea. But there could be. Everybody just left, so why?
Hey, players leave St. Francis too. St. Francis.
Yeah, players leave everywhere at the end of the day. Oh, snap. You went. Oh, I see where you're going with that. Oh, okay.
I'm not going to put that up on the screen. Hey, let's go. Let's talk about the tip-off. What's going? Hey, there was a lot of smoke about the tip-off classic and how they did the brackets. There's a Black Lives Matter bracket at the tip-off classic.
Do we need this? Is that like?
I don't know. I'm putting it out there. I'll be honest. I didn't even look at it.
Can you inform us? What are you talking about?
I didn't even look at the bracket.
No, I'm talking about. But what are you talking about? Like brackets? Like so? Who's playing in what bracket? I don't.
Okay, so the Black Lives Matter bracket is all the shoe teams.
Okay.
I received a message last night. Y'all want me to read that?
Yes.
I'm just
okay. I received a message last night.
Yes,
and
come on.
And it says, "Good evening. Is it possible to get you guys feedback on what's happening with the tip off?" Okay, it says that, and I'm skipping a couple sentences. It says they separated the independent teams from the sneaker teams and more well-known teams into a separate conference bracket to play on a court named Black Lives Matter with extra coverage, exclusive streaming to college coaches, and published rosters. None of this was offered or planned for other 17Us, all independents, and they placed them all in what's called a championship bracket. So
there are some independent teams in the Black Lives Matter. You have AC Georgia, which is an independent team. Team Huncho, to me, still an independent team. Sponsored by Wire. Because they got a sponsor, they don't mean they're not a.
They got a bigger sponsor than everybody out here.
Everybody, yeah.
Okay. You got ABC Elite, independent team.
Independent.
That's
you
independent.
got Team Dickerson.
Yeah, I guess independent.
So them the three teams. Now the rest of the teams are shooting.
Wait, Team Dickerson is really independent?
I don't think so. I
think so.
They're an extension of the Celtics, aren't they?
Yes.
Would have played on the Adidas circuit?
But do they get help from somewhere else?
Everybody gets help.
I'm gonna let Locke reach for that, but you reaching. But okay, go ahead.
I don't get no help. Give me some help and let's see what happens.
You want me to tell you y'all plug? Y'all the main plug. Hey, y'all have the main plug.
I don't get any financial help.
You want to take it up, Bryce? Y'all got the juice.
Let's get to the shit though. I didn't really review the brackets like that. I saw that it got done. I kind of asked around about it a little bit, see how people felt about it. I pulled up the brackets, but I'll be honest, I didn't study it like that.
Are we picking the winners?
I'm more so asking how we feel about the fact that it happened. Do we feel like there's anything that's been done incorrectly? I guess me personally, I kind of feel like that's just how shit goes. Like,
but why not just make the whole event? If you're gonna, and I didn't look at it either, to be honest. But if you are going to make it a Black Lives Matter thing, why not just call the whole tournament a Black Lives Matter thing? I mean, why single?
Well, I think because at Swanee, the court is black, so I'm thinking that's going to be the Black Lives Matter court without streaming.
Gotcha.
So I think that's why he's doing that. But
he's only streaming. No, he's only streaming select games. Those games on that court.
Yeah,
on that bracket.
That bracket, yeah. And that will start Friday at 7:30 with Game Elite versus Team Huncho.
You said what time?
7:30. Game Elite versus Team Huncho.
Yeah, I might be in there tomorrow.
Hey, Bryce, I'm riding with you, bro.
Yeah, I gotta. I might come because I gotta see Team Huncho again.
Huff got the biggest car. We need to ride a Huff car. Who got the biggest car? Truck. We gonna ride him. Locke's bubble.
Yeah, ride a Locke's bubble.
Facts. Hey, Locke should drive, bro.
Not the Malibu.
I'll never want to drive, bro.
I drive to the club.
I can see both sides of this, right? And I just want to cut through the nonsense, and then we can talk about the games. But I see both sides of it. I see as an AAU director, if I play in a tournament and I'm 17U and everybody is desperately looking for film and exposure, I can understand being upset at being left out of being live streamed. I can understand that. If nobody wants to be on a court with no cameras. So I get it. But
no,
especially in this situation when kids need the exposure to play online. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm not knocking what he's doing at all. But I'm just saying if I'm trying to help kids or whatever and trying to get them to the next level, it helps to have film. You know what I mean?
And another thing too,
and it might have been too much money for him. You know what I mean? I mean, who knows what it was?
You got to think too. You got to look. I'm looking at the championship bracket in 17U. Some of these teams I do know, but you also got to look at what teams have players. So you know how we always say the ESPN court, ESPN 2, ESPN 3 court. You know, I kind of looked at that type of situation. Like, you know, at first when Mondre first sent the message, I was like, dang. Again, like you said, you got to look at it both ways.
Yeah,
like, you know, you got to look at it the independent route. Like every kid should have an opportunity to play. But then too, is sometimes if your program doesn't have that resume or not producing, play college players back to back years.
That's true. I mean, I've had college players back to back years, and Jerome probably wouldn't put me in the Black Lives Matter bracket.
I think he would have. Well, I don't know. What I saw last week, he would have put you in that bracket. What I saw last week, you definitely wouldn't have been over the Black Lives Matter. No.
Oh wow.
Wow. Okay.
You went 0-2.
But so I will say this. I think we all been around this basketball game long enough to know that number one, to the victor go the spoils. Like that's kind of how it works. And a lot of times when it comes to that media coverage and stuff, like that's, I don't know. It's a part of me that I totally understand and I align with what the message that I got. But there's another part of me that says, as an independent guy, I kind of walk into events almost expecting that until you get to that point where you've been winning and you've been beating big teams. A lot of times you're not going to get that type of coverage, but it's like, I see both sides of it. It's like, yo, I paid my money just like everybody else, or you might even let some of those teams.
And I agree with what you said. And the independent thing, I think it's a year by year thing as I look back at it now, because like the first time I did end up, like I had a team, we had some good players, but we weren't winning a lot of games. And then last year we had some good players and we won a lot of games. And this year we have some pretty good players. You know what I'm saying? So I think for independence, it's not a steady, you just have to see how it goes year by year. So that, I mean, in that sense, that's true.
In the 17U bracket, it's some good teams. You know, I know the favorite Celtics always have players. Georgia United, Georgia Knights, they got another game elite team. They got Atlanta Top Flight.
That's the thing.
So, but let me ask this lot. At 17U, if your game is not being filmed, what are you playing for?
Right.
You want to play. You want to play to get better. I guess. You know, I had this discussion last week. You know, over the weekend with a couple of guys. They was like, "Where's Kowalski?" I was like, "Why does he need to be here?"
Why?
And it was like, "Well, Matthew Cleveland is playing. Jabari is playing." I said, "Yeah, they're playing to be a McDonald's All-American." Right. I'm like, this kid is already committed to Florida, and he's still working on his game back down there in Macon.
For sure.
Now,
do they want to come out to maybe have people tweet about them, even though they're not getting the stream? Their games are not being streamed.
They should. I feel like I was gonna
still get exposure, because I'm sure media was, like Huff said, media will probably still be there, still watching some of those games. It might be some, and then even parents still recording these games on their, iPad.
I have a question. Nike teams are not allowing their teams to play, correct?
They just shut it down. They just shut it down, yeah, from what I heard.
Right, so let's say there's a player 16 and under. Should he go play for somebody else? Or he's already got offers? Or should just rock out and say, I'm chilling out this summer?
My iPhone has unlimited minutes. If anybody needs to call me and make a phone call, we can discuss that.
You say 16U?
Yeah, 16.
I think so. I feel like if you had a bad weekend last weekend, you need to play this weekend.
Well, he didn't play. Let me say, I'm using an example. Let's say he hasn't played because he's been on a Nike team. So he didn't play last weekend, right?
Uh-huh.
Kid has high major, mid-major offers. He's a rising junior.
Mm-hmm.
Should he go to another team and play? Because, for instance, we're just talking about an event that his age group not going to get streamed if he was playing in this event.
Okay, so now you really playing for bragging rights and to keep your stock. Because I'm looking at 16U. I want to see Double Trouble. I definitely need to see
Double Trouble playing in this event.
Yeah, Double Trouble Elite.
Because they've been playing in that. They've been playing in the. Never mind.
Yes, sir. Alabama Fusion was playing last week.
Alabama Fusion was playing. Yes.
Yeah, they did play last. They was the only Nike team that came out. I didn't see the Star.
I think
Unfortunately,
they got pulled out. I don't think the Stars have been outside yet.
They won't be at this point. It's probably over with. It's over with. Yeah.
You got the Atlanta Express, who is going to be fun to watch. Team Huncho, 16U. They played 17U aim high last week. They're going to be pretty tough. Game Elite is going to be pretty tough, but the 16U Celtics is going to probably be the team to beat.
Who's winning those games? Lock, call it.
If I had to just look, I haven't seen Double Trouble. If I'm just going by last week, I'm liking Team Huncho. I'm liking Team Huncho, Express, and Atlanta Celtics. And I'm just saying that because I haven't seen
16 or
game
17?
16.
Okay.
Because I heard Express 16U. They got some horses. And you got Team Dickerson. You got the Hype Hawks. 16U is pretty good.
Who's Hype Hawks playing?
Let me see. The Hype Hawks are playing Tennessee Passion.
Never even heard of them.
Saturday at 8. Yes, it's a couple of teams. You got the Georgia Knights. It's a couple of teams that's going to be pretty good. But I'm going to definitely have to go catch up my 14U kids. Just in case I have the freshman U this year. And that bracket's pretty low. Free Bands Elite versus Tri-Cities. Free Band always has some kids. You got the Georgia Star. Well, it is a Georgia Stars team coming out this weekend.
Well, they might not though, just because they're on the schedule. If they got shut down yesterday.
So if you was a Nike kid, would you go play on another team?
We'll have to see. We'll see.
I'm asking you, would you if you had a kid that was on Nike playing with the Stars or Alabama Challenge and another team reached out to you, would you let your kid play?
Why not? Does that affect where he's his trajectory in his career? Like no. So why not?
For me, it's about live period. And not saying that that's the only events that I would play in, but like if there is live period, then I get it. But even as it stands today,
he's playing on ABC Elite, right?
Who?
Yeah. And he was supposed to play for Team Dad or something like that. So what's the difference?
True.
I guess I'm looking at like even as we're talking right now, like there have been talks that things are going to be canceled after this weekend.
I heard that.
So like what come out, you play in one event, like how much can one event
premiere
to play in one event or two events, how much is that going to help or hurt your career?
Chase is tough.
Like did that impact Matt Cleveland's McDonald's to come out and play in two events?
If he only had to play one event and do that and then jump in the top 20 or whatever it is,
honestly, what Matt did last weekend, he doesn't even play anymore. Only time he needs to play if we get the matchup between Matthew Cleveland and Kawhi Reeves.
You probably not gonna get that matchup.
I heard it's already set up.
That's what I heard in another event.
Yeah, I would say it must be another event.
Yeah.
Now, B-Maze is pretty nice
around events.
B-Maze is tough. B-Maze is tough.
Always. We get some consistency around these events, man. Like, it would have been great the original plan that the NCAA put out, having live periods in August and September, I think was a good plan.
That would have been dope.
To kick the can down the road and not make a decision, to me, it just put everything in limbo. Because like what are we doing? That's the thing, the question I keep asking. Like, we don't know week from week. What I reached out to Prep Hoops for my team, reached out to Prep Hoops to say, hey man, are y'all keeping this event? Are y'all not doing this event? Like, what's happening? There's not even consistency when it comes to that, of what events are staying on.
It's a week by week thing at this point.
Yeah, it's week by week.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I told you about GHSA.
But how can NCAA not make a decision? You know what I mean? Like,
no decision to make.
Nobody is, and that's the thing. So we talk about not making a decision. Like right now,
it's either you do or you don't. Like,
right.
And I agree, Bryce. But unfortunately, you got people. I'm not gonna say people. You like 2 or 3 weeks ago, everybody was probably like, "Oh, well, everything can go on. We can open this thing back up."
Yep.
Right now, you're looking at it, you like, man, we need to maybe shut everything down. So I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer, to be honest with you.
So a lot of decisions that are being left in the air, man.
Like whatever decision they should have made one. I do agree with that.
That's the only thing. Either you do, like you make a decision and you hope that decision is the best one for your players, student athletes, or your parents, and whatever else, and you keep it moving.
Put out a tweet just earlier before the show and talking about the fact that we're a month away from school starting at this point. And from what I understand, APS,
Fulton County
schools, Marietta schools,
August 17th,
Paulding County have all and finding out there are other counties, Douglas County, have all put out and provided a virtual learning option for students. But the question that hasn't
it's not consistent though. Like every place is different.
Every place is different.
Like for instance, there's a county where you can go that's given the virtual online option, but if you do that, you can't play sports.
Right.
Whoa.
Right. There are multiple counties that are saying that now.
Which is that's crazy.
Huff, not only are there multiple counties that are saying that, there are multiple counties that I've confirmed said that and then reversed that decision.
Because it's called a lawsuit they knew was coming.
so right now Cobb County, from what I read in an article today, Cobb County is back to debating a delayed start after they originally said that school would start on time. Now they're back to debating a delayed start for school.
No, I thought they did. I thought they pushed it back to August 17th.
Yeah, they did.
But here's something else. Like nobody thinks of it like this. So how many kids rely on being in school to be at practice? So now they're not in school. How they getting to practice?
True.
Like insurance policy wise, you're not supposed to pick all these kids up technically and put them in your car as a school employee, or even take it further as COVID. Do you want them in close quarters in your car to get them to practice? It's just so much that's out there right now, man.
That's the question that I'm wondering is, if you go back to school, are the schools going to make you sign a waiver? Because that's what's being done.
Are the schools going to make you wear a mask?
No.
From what I'm seeing, no.
No.
What I'm seeing, no. Not even
how do you socially distance in most classrooms at high school? I know. I can't speak on Maryland. 30 kids in there, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you socially distance with that? How do you socially distance at lunch or in a PE class? You know, there are a lot of questions that have to be answered. Like, so if you're giving an option of you can go to school or you can virtually learn at home. Like, I'm a teacher. So now, to be honest, you're asking me to do double work.
I'm gonna say it's double work, yeah.
If I'm a teacher that's 55 plus, that's close to retirement, and I'm feeling for my health if I have to go back to school because you're making me go back to school.
Yeah, because there is no option for teachers. That's an option for students and parents.
They may determine after this week, I'm gonna just go on and retire, man. I'm gonna take whatever little cut I got to take, and I'm just gonna go on and retire. So you could have a boatload of openings that nobody's prepared for, especially in public schools, because you have a glut of teachers retiring. There's a lot of stuff that nobody's talking about, man.
We're just kicking the can down the street.
That's some great points, though. Great points.
But to me, between the NCAA, and I'll tie it back to AAU, between the NCAA, GHSA, and our school systems not making a decision early for all of this, I feel like it's impacted the vision and the direction for AAU. It put us in a week-to-week place. Like, I'm gonna be honest, man, I have no idea what to tell our parents, bro.
Oh, GHSA has made a decision now. It's the opposite of what people think they should be making right now. But
they playing football.
Like they came out and said now you can scrimmage. You can do 7-on-7. You can scrimmage in practice. But yet COVID cases are spiking.
7-on-7 and 3-on-3 for basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
7-on-7 and 3-on-3 for basketball is available. Starting Monday, right?
Starting Monday, because this is the dead week this week.
Okay. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna knock them for making a decision.
But let's keep it a buck. But then everybody knows what's going on. Well, at least the one that was put out in the news of what's going on in Alabama, that college kids are having let's see who can catch COVID parties. I mean,
that's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I read that. That's nuts. Like, they are literally, for the people who are listening who don't know, they found a bunch of students in Alabama who are having parties, inviting people who have tested positive for COVID-19 to the party. Everybody that comes to the party puts money in a pot and they party. Nobody knows who the infected person or people are. But whoever catches COVID first, I don't know how they determine that. I guess they just go get tested immediately, gets the money from the pot. Whoever confirms that they get COVID first. So they're having contests to see who can catch it first.
That's some shit.
So did GHSA say anything in regards to basketball is kept to just 3-on-3 though, Huff? No,
you can have workouts. You can do it. You know,
you can open the gym back up. You can skills and
back open.
But here's the point: there are school systems that's not allowing basketball to do that.
Wait, so GHSA has said that, but now the school districts are saying something different.
School districts saying it's just for fall sports. Some of them are, you know, and so now you've got coaches in dilemma. Let's say, and I don't nobody quote me, but let's say Fulton's not allowing it. They're not allowing just fall sports, right? But Gwinnett is allowing people to come in their school, right? But you as a coach might say, man, I don't know if I want to risk this. But if one school in Gwinnett, they get in the gym and you decide not to, it'll like you behind the 8 ball, right? That's what your parents and players are going to say.
Yeah.
So this is really it's hard, man.
After the 4th, you don't know where kids have been.
You don't know where they've been right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is true. It's odd to me. The messaging, I feel like these decisions are easier to make, but the messaging is just not consistent to me.
The one I can't get mad at GHSA because they've been consistent. They haven't, like, when they put it out, they put it out. This is what we're doing. They haven't went back and forth. They haven't.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I just think. I think it kind of goes back to the school. Your government. I don't want government in cities or towns or even states. Leadership, man. I mean, this COVID and racial injustice times that we're in has shown lack of leadership a lot of places.
Speaking of leadership, Huff, I feel like you should run for like mayor or something.
Got some. I don't know. They have to go back all your past. I wasn't always the.
Hey,
People got some stuff on you.
hey, Huff, I said the same thing, dog. Don't start digging in my shit. Don't even go through my Twitter. I got some bad likes out there.
Hey, they'll be trying to scrub people off my past. Like, hey, you got to be quiet now.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think what we do have to keep in mind too is on the other side, where I do see the risk in playing. I don't understand what a lot of kids are playing for. Like, what are we trying to accomplish with a lot of them? I don't. But I don't, like Locke said, it's not beyond the fact for me that some kids are playing because mentally, emotionally, they need to be playing.
Man, Hey, you speaking right now because you got to realize, man, a lot of kids go to school. Yes, they go for education, but kids go to school for socializing.
Yeah,
a lot of kids haven't had the ability to socialize except looking at a computer screen since March 17th.
Yeah.
I
mean, even for me being back in the gym, it was weird because I was just like, it just didn't even feel the same. Like I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like get back in the swing of things. I didn't even feel like I was out of, like my whole rhythm was off. Like I'm just trying to get it back. So
it doesn't. And watching a lot of kids, you can see there are a lot of kids that are off balance. The way the game is played is like there are a lot of kids who aren't in great shape right now.
I know the kids on my team. I know the kids on my team were tired.
I mean, think about it, Bryce. Even if you won the state championship, the last time you had your team on the floor was the first week of March.
Right. Which means most of these kids, a lot of them didn't make it that far. So they probably mid-February, late February.
So let's even say you did. Let's even just keep it to the first week of March, right? So if you got, how many guys you got on your Georgia Canes team?
Like 9.
So let's say you got 10 guys. I'd probably say 3 of them been able to get in the gym to do anything.
Yeah.
7 of the guys, they may have went and run in their neighborhood.
I think probably
go in their house, but that's it.
I think 1 or 2 of them. The rest of them probably been out the park or in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm.
So this past weekend, like Locke has said it, you know, Locke, we've had the little text conversation that said, man, a lot of these kids this past weekend, they were trying to get their legs under them. They had everything. I mean,
yeah. So
because in that first game, we was like in the first probably 5 or 6 minutes, we was running up and down. Like I said, we was up like 15-4, 15-2.
And that gorilla got on y'all back.
Hey, and then that monkey jumped on their back, boy. Hey, it was over with. Next thing I know, we down 4 or 5 at halftime. Hey, in the layup lines, we doing 360s. Jens is head above the square.
They used all their energy in the layup line.
We put a show in the layup lines. Halftime was over with.
So
it was over with. It was tired.
That layup line is a show.
Hey, I'm gonna put on a show.
We should have said that with that Atlanta Celtics when we had Julio on, because it was definitely a show for them.
Hey, I'm telling the kids, hey man, look, in the layup lines, we about to put on a show. I don't care, this AAU. We gonna have, you know what I'm saying? Throw that thing off the backboard. Like, for real. Hey, for real. Yeah, bro. I don't care about the what. I don't care nothing about hey, bro. If you don't throw the ball off the backboard and dunk it, you ain't gonna start. They be like, oh, okay, all right.
That same kid he actually threw out the backboard probably had 4 points and 2 rebounds.
Nah, Jens had a good weekend though.
Now I ain't talking about Jens. I like Jens. He's gonna have a good senior season.
Yeah, that man's super athletic.
He's grinding, yeah. His skill set getting better.
Speaking of kids, we try to show some kids before we get out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's do it.
Norfolk.
I can't say it.
You got to be close to being from the DMV to kind of get that down. I think it's kind of like if I say Baltimore, but really they say Baltimore. You know what I'm saying?
Or like I say Louisville.
Yeah, and I can't say it, so
it's Louisville. All right, Bryce, I got your kid queued up.
That's what's up. Yeah, let me know. I'm ready to go. I took it to Creekside today, and I took it to Cobb County. So I'm back. I'm back off my load management. I did a little bit of work today, not much.
I'm sorry, I just read something that completely fucked me up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Sorry. My bad.
What you read, man?
Huh?
What you read?
Hey man, I'm just gonna put it like this.
Hey, it's. I think today is Happy CAU Day. I think
They found it yesterday. They found it yesterday.
Atlanta was founded, not Clark College, but Clark Atlanta was founded today.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm just saying. People,
hey, listen. What you say, Madre? Ain't no suckers in your circle, my guy.
Ain't no suckers in our circle. And quiet is kept, whether it's the kids or people who come on our show or are featured on our show. Good things happen. Shout out to Colin Rodriguez, got his first D1 offer after being featured on our show. Shout out to Colin and shout out to North Augusta. We've been helping kids all summer.
Yes, sir.
All right, Bryce, I got you.
Who we got first? All right, this is Joaquin Payne, 6'6", wing forward, from Creekside, South Fulton area. Rising junior, young guy, got a ways to go. Got some time as he's developing, but he will be a huge piece in that program. I haven't watched this highlight much, but here he is, finishes above the rim, and like I said, he's probably gotten a lot better since then, since the season. I'm sure he's been working out. Super long kid. Depending on how much he works, he has a nice shot. Lefty kind of player. Kind of gives you like a. I'm not, and I hate to compare anybody to this. Man, I'm not even gonna do that. But yeah, left-handed kid, can shoot. Athletic. Rebounds pretty well, block shots pretty well. A kid to track in the next year for sure, just to see how he develops. A sleeper that probably a lot of people don't know about. So, kid that possibly could get to 6'8".
And what year is he?
He's a rising junior, so that's 2022.
He plays AAU.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Who does he play AAU with? He plays with that was Moliere from Canes from last year. Moliere goes to Young Harris. He committed to Young Harris.
Okay, that's a good move.
Yeah, that's his level. Good level. Good move for him. He's a 2022 kid. Like I said, he's about 6'6" now, 6'5", 6'6". I think he'll be one of the top kids in that program for sure in the next 2 years. So one to track. Be looking at young kids. Plays from Coach McKissick. Trust the process.
Shout out to Coach McKissick, man. I'm just going to say this: if you're looking for somebody to do some video for you, and I know he coaches, but he does dope videos, man. Y'all need to check out
videos and edits. He does a lot of stuff. Yeah. He's good with that stuff.
You ready? You ready, Dre?
I got one more.
My bad,
yeah,
buddy.
we got one more. I got you, B.
This other kid, I've seen him play numerous times, and he is a kid that I feel like is going to be a late bloomer. A school is going to get this kid, and he is going to turn into a dude.
Albany. No, Daquan's from Albany.
Yes, I do.
He played pretty well late in the year, too.
He's going to turn into a player. I mean, the kid can jump out of the gym, can shoot it, can run. I think he'll have more of a role this year, and I see him really. I like spotting the sleepers, and I feel like I'm kind of good at that at this point. I think he's one of those kids that's going to be one of them dudes that turns up.
Yeah. I think Daquan if he really just commit himself to the gym.
Work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, this kid takes off in transition. It reminds you of like Russell Westbrook. And I'm not even, I hate, I'm not going to gas it up, but I mean, he really does. Like when he takes off, he's well above the rim.
Yeah, he needs to. He can be special, man. If he locks in, I hope he's been grinding all summer.
He might be one that we'll see how he does. If we keep playing, we'll see how he does in the rest of the summer.
But no, definitely.
This kid is athletic. I can't even.
I think he's more like 6'4", 6'5" too. I don't think he's 6'3".
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I haven't really seen him up close. I haven't seen him since probably December. So
yeah. Long arm.
I don't think he's 6'5", like I think
he's 6'4", 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, because I don't think he's as big as Robert Dix. Yeah, I don't think he's that.
Robert Dix about 6'6".
Yeah, but I think Daquan is going to be a player, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if Robert Dix ended up getting a 6'8" because he's young too.
I heard he's been cooked. Well, we heard he's been cooking with double trouble. Cooking.
But we got to get double trouble play on the they got to get off the TBS network and they got to come over. They got to come over to Fox. They got to come over to ESPN.
They got to get out, turn the south.
Yeah, golly, shit. You gotta come over here. You gotta get on ESPN, my guy.
We're gonna see him this weekend, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show a 2021
who played the South Cobb.
That we talk about all the time. But we've never showed his highlights on the show.
Travis.
This is Travis Burge.
Ooh.
Travis, a lefty, super quick guard. Oh, these is Marietta highlights. I thought I pulled his South Cobb highlights.
Hey.
Oh, go ahead. He was getting busy for Marietta too.
What? Travis averaged about 18 in sophomore year, didn't he?
Yeah, Travis was getting off. That was right around his AAU national championship run.
15, 18.
I can't say because he wasn't the leading scorer on that team. Jalen Smith was.
Okay.
But he played very well.
That's what I need to see Travis do more, hitting that mid range.
Definitely.
I think if he can show that he can knock that down consistently, I think his recruitment will go up. And this is where we have discussed and where people think that I don't like Travis or something, but to me, I don't think it's that. I don't think Travis's issue about his recruitment has anything to do with him scoring the ball. I don't think it's that. I think boring.
I think that's part of it. Because Travis breaks down the defense better than a lot of guards in the state. If he pulls up for that elbow jumper and he knocks that down and creates that separation, I think he's good to go.
Yeah,
and this is, I think that him thinking about scoring is what is the problem. I think out of the group of guys that we frequently put at the top of 2021, Travis is the one that could be an elite level defender. But because there's so much focus on the offensive end, what Travis can bring to a team and do right away at the Division I level is defend and turn guys. But we're spending so much time talking about offense, which I think happens to a lot of these young guys. But every coach comes on here and says, I need somebody that can play defense. And if you can defend for me, you can play early. To me, Travis can be the elite defender out of that group.
Andre, I agree with everything you're saying regarding the college coaches. However, I kind of disagree about how you are looking at his game, because the games that I have seen, he's been the kid that's facilitating the offense and driving. Now he gets buckets here and there, he gets the floaters, but to me, he's facilitating the offense. He did it at South Cobb, I thought. Am I wrong?
I don't have an issue with him facilitating offense, though. I just said I think he can be an elite defender. I think if he focuses on facilitating the offense and being an elite defender, I think his
What
stock.
level does that get him to then?
He showed that against Alabama Challenge. Guarding one of the top guards in the state.
Okay, so if you're an elite defender and you're facilitator, does that get you to the Division I level?
I think it could for him.
I'm not even about.
I think those are. My thing is, don't take your best attribute off the table. That's all I'm saying. And to me, out of the top guards in 2021, Travis has the ability to be an elite defender.
I agree.
So don't take your best attribute off the table trying to score the ball. To me,
My thing is that I want to just say we keep saying Division I. My thing, we just want him to play college.
No, he's gonna play college though.
Right.
We get that. We know he's gonna play.
Yeah, Travis is definitely a college
We know he's gonna play in college. I'm just saying. My question wasn't even really about. My question wasn't about Travis. My question was, as a kid, can I be an elite lockdown defender and a facilitator and get to a Division I level? It wasn't really regarding Travis.
I hope so. I hope we're not.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's very difficult.
I feel like you got to make shots because all the top guards we always talk about make shots.
I think you have to score. I don't necessarily know that he has to make certain shots.
You have to make
elite defender. You're gonna be getting steals. You're gonna score anyway.
College different.
You got to be able to score at all three levels.
Yeah.
To be a division to be a guard, I ain't gonna say Division I. You gotta be able to score at all three levels. But if he wants to make a comparison to something, then the kid Ephraim that's at North Georgia was an elite defender. What are you elite at? You got to accentuate what you're elite at. And Ephraim was an elite defender and an elite leader. I think he goes down as the all-time steals leader at North Georgia.
Still is at North Georgia, Huff. He's still doing it too.
So you can have. He had a couple of Division I offers, and he chose North Georgia. So, go where you want it. Go where it fits how you play. All that got to come into factors, man. But what are you elite at? If I could tell parents anything, stop comparing your kid to somebody else's kid and how many offers they got, because everybody's different.
And colleges are looking for pieces. They're looking for specific pieces for their program. So
and you're right, Bryce. So you may be saying, well, why didn't they offer me? Well, maybe they don't need that spot.
They might be looking for a point guard.
Right. Or maybe they're looking for a elite shooter and you're not a shooter. And that kid is a better shooter than you are.
Right. I think Travis is gonna have a senior season that's gonna get him, he'll be straight. He should be good.
No, he's in a good situation. I just want to see him make shots.
Talking about Ashton Malone.
Yeah,
he looked good. He looked good.
No, I'm talking about Ashton was the lead at defender and passing's got to be Ashton Hagens now.
Ashton Malone has always been good though. Like he been good since 8th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. That ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? Like the dude he's physically built.
True. The thing with Ashton
has the IQ and the court vision to get it done.
Yeah. The thing with Ashton, I don't think he's be able to get those layups he's able to get at his sides.
No, but he can hit the mid-range shot. He can hit the three.
But and you know what? I want to go back to it. I'm not talking about Ashton or Travis, but as guards, they got to be able to have the ability to get downhill, get in the paint, and make plays, not just for themselves, but for others. Can you do that at the next level? Can you score versus bigger bigs? Like there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, and I think this is a good comment too here about we're talking about not Ashton Malone, Ashton Hagens.
That's why when he said elite defender and passer, I knew he was talking about Hagens.
And yeah, that's more so what we're talking about. Like, I think Travis is a good facilitator, but I think that Travis can be, when I say elite defender, I think he can be an elite defender. I think he can get to that Ashton Hagens territory as a defender.
But the difference
focus.
Ashton Hagens is 6'4.5", and Ashton Malone.
For sure.
is 5'.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah.
I think we got to go back to that term. What are you elite at?
What do you lead at?
We
What's your best?
were talking about Matthew Cleveland. He has elite athleticism. Number one,
Rebounding.
Especially in
he has an elite motor. Don't just say motor.
Yeah.
Like you talk about Robbie. Robbie has an elite motor. He has elite toughness.
Facts.
Like, you know, so we're talking about like we brought up Zocco. Zocco is an elite shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like we can keep going down a list of talking about guys that have something elite about them. DeJuan Odom was an elite competitor.
All right, Huff. I'm finna put you on the spot. What is Garrison the lead in?
Garrison is an elite scorer, and he's pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's elite, but it's a damn high basketball IQ.
He is a high basketball IQ.
He really does.
I'm gonna ask the question that seems like a really
stupid. I don't like the release on his jump shot though.
A lot of people don't, but he made it. He was a 35% free.
He makes it. No. He makes it. I just don't like it.
Right.
I just don't care for it.
Well, I got something that's even crazier, Bryce. There were people that didn't like Adam Flagler's shot.
Yeah, it's about getting about scoring the ball.
He was shooting an elite clip.
Yeah, it's about scoring the ball. I mean, so Garrison, he knocks the shot down, but when I watch it, I'm just like, I don't really like watching that. But he makes it.
I'm gonna toss out a question to y'all and see what y'all think. This was something that was brought to me about Bruce Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
And it was brought to me that it's like, man, this kid is a lot smaller than I thought he was. Like, is he really gonna be like the deal, high major? And
you know why it doesn't matter? You know why it doesn't matter with him? Do you remember? You guys remember that point guard that Purdue had a couple years ago?
Nice.
He played when Kaiser.
And he went.
He played with Kaiser. Yeah,
right.
He got brought up by the Celtics. K-Son Edwards, I think that's his name.
Carson Edwards.
There you go. That answers your question about Bruce. Because I thought the same thing too. But it doesn't matter if you go to the right school and they let you play your game. And Bruce is, he can play hard. So
you just said it, right? Go to the right. Got to go to the right program.
Did y'all see that dude? Y'all know who Trey Donaldson is? That TSL brought from Florida?
Nah, I ain't get to see him.
Ooh, I remember him from middle school. Ooh, he was cooking last week.
TSL down.
Ooh, hey. Ooh. I'm gonna send y'all the highlights of this kid.
Man,
every time Block show a highlight, I want you to make that face and do that noise right there. Every time we show a highlight, you gotta do that, bro. No, I agree with you guys, man. Bruce is one of those kids that has been good since forever, bro. Like good.
I'm just throwing this out there. I have no idea. I have nothing to do with it. But imagine if Bruce went to like Indiana or somewhere like that allows him to be that guy at that point guard position where he is now. He's only gonna get better, even if he doesn't grow. Shoot the ball.
Bruce has an IQ. He's a player that doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes.
He doesn't.
I don't think we even know. I think that kid has another gear that we don't even see sometimes.
I think so too.
Like last week when he played, you know what I mean? Like I saw a lot of kids like that too, that I felt like they had another gear that they just didn't feel like playing. So
Dre, you ready? Or you just
yeah, I'm ready. We can get through. Oh wait, Dave sent me one. I'm gonna show Dave kid real quick, and then Huff will end.
Is he in state?
I don't know where this kid from. Hey Dave, hit the chat, bro. Tell us where this kid is from. Oh,
hey, look at Lock's face. Look at Lock's face.
This kid from Miami-Dade Community College, Miami, Florida. He just completed his associate's degree. So this kid is ready to go. He is
I bet he's a shooter. Right, I bet he's a shooter.
6'6" guard, Marcus Watson.
I bet he's shooting it. I bet.
And what up? Shout out to AJ White, bro. Champ. What up?
Hibachi.
Can't call you AJ no more. Your name is Champ from now on.
Dang, Aim High's not playing this weekend.
They not?
I don't think so. Hey.
Help on that rim. Easy.
Where's this kid go?
Miami-Dade Community College.
Miami-Dade Community College. He just finished his associate's degree, so he's available right now.
That's funny, man, because I saw them playing Broward, and Broward, their program got shut down, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
This COVID stuff, man, ain't no joke.
Miami-Dade, they run an up-tempo type of offense. They love to shoot threes.
Santa Fe, JUCO.
I'm sure some guys, if you're looking for an available 6'6", can put the ball on the floor, can shoot a little bit, finish at the rim. It's a good look. Shahoops here.
Bam.
Good player, man.
Good one, Dave. Came through again.
No doubt.
My boy Dave.
Oh, if we're gonna let you close us out, big dog.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Man, I worked today.
You did. Shout out to J Mixtapes, who this highlight comes from.
Yeah, shout out to all the video dudes, man. I'll be late.
Hey, we need to get all the video guys and see who have the best highlights.
Don't tell everybody your ideas locked on live.
But this is AJ Hopkins, 6'6" kid from Whitfield Academy, plays with Team Dickerson.
Did he play this past weekend?
He did.
Is that the high jumping kid?
He can score. He can high. He can fly now, but he can also do some of that too. You know.
Give me that.
It's funny because for his high school, he's got to play more towards the rim. Before the AAU team, he's more on the wing. But I really like his athleticism. I like the way he shoots it. Makes the right plays with the basketball.
Ooh. Hey, it was fun watching Team Dickerson. That first game of the day, Aim High versus Team Dickerson.
Good game coming out the gate. That was a good game.
They set the tone early. And then,
I like the kid. I like long, athletic, versatile guys. You know, some people may say he can be a face-up four at the next level. Some people can say he'd be a wing. It's whatever he chooses, where he wants to go.
Hey, man. Shout out to Chance Moore, man.
Yeah, shout out to Chance Moore.
He did his thing that first game, man. I was proud to see that.
What he could do.
He was cooking.
Always said most skills.
Was he sprinting full speed?
He played a little harder. Yeah, like I. He played harder. He was knocking down shots. You know,
I think without a doubt, he's one of the best, if not top 10 most talented kids in the state. I
think that's why his name comes up so much on our show.
Skill set wise, when I watched him, the dude,
y'all can do me saying he's the most skilled dude I ever coached. Y'all glossed over that.
Yeah. I missed that. That dude, I mean, he could put the ball right on his right hip and step back and shoot the three like it ain't nothing.
I heard the Nike kids are leaving and joining team. Ooh, we're gonna have to go watch the Celtics. I ain't gonna announce it, but we're gonna have to go watch the Celtics.
Hey man, since Locke ain't coming off of it, Locke always make these half-ass announcements. Since Locke ain't coming off of it, man, that's our show for the day. All the Nike kids are leaving and going where, Locke? Answer.
Do they have enough? Do they have enough room in the Celtics for all them?
I'm just talking.
Yeah. Hey, remember Locke about an hour ago said about who has the ultimate plug and the ultimate backing?
Yeah, you.
Okay. Talk soon. Oh man, what my man Yoda say? Talk soon.
Talk soon. Hey man, that's our show for tonight. We're getting out of here.
Talk soon. I'm trying to find my own little thing though, because I don't want to copy that joint. But I like that talk soon though. That hashtag talk soon. I just gotta find my own thing. When I come up with it, like my man Juke that work on the show, when I come with my own line.
Hey man, shout out to Juke.
My man Davis always say let it marinate.
I like that let it marinate too. Yeah, I like that let it marinate. I'm gonna come with my own joint though. When I come with my own joint.
Shout out to Juke. Shout out to the home team, man. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate y'all for staying on. Hey, and watch out for this Clark Atlanta news. We coming, dog. Just watch. Watch the timeline, dog. Here it comes. Announcement coming soon, man. Atlanta going up. That's the Love of the Game podcast, man.
Juke your boy. That work gonna show.
Work gonna show, no doubt.
Work gonna show.
Hey, we out.